Hey everyone, since Frankie was doing a live, I didn't want to interrupt, and I have a certain timeline to go and pick up my son today. So anyways, today is going to be a video about how I resin coat dried paintings. This one was done a couple of days ago. This piece was done with Floetrol, and it dried extremely matte, and I think some of the other people had the same experience with it. And something that's new to me is that, you know, when it dried, I could see the texture of the canvas, not necessarily something I really like. And so I decided to just go with it and try to resin coat it, see if there's any, you know, difference, or will it bring back some depth. And so this is the one that I did previously today. And it made a huge difference, even though I can still see the texture. But as you can see, the blues are popped up a lot more. Now, maybe I'll post a before and after picture just to show you guys the difference that a resin coat would do for a dry painting. But what I will do is I will go ahead and bring you guys over here. Actually, I'm going to go and show you guys the mixing process. Whoa, look at this. It's been a long day. Very productive day, I would say, okay? I'm going to go right here. All right, so today I'm going to work with art resin. I got 2 gallons here that's ready to go. And previously for the other mixture, for the other painting, this guy right here, I used the Envirotech or Vertex light resin. I still got a little bit here. Maybe I'll go ahead and finish this guy and then show you guys how to mix for another piece. So it's kind of a reverse video, but you get all the information you should have. So let's bring you over here. Jump all over here. So this is the piece that I did a week and a half ago, I think. I can't remember exactly. It's called Ursula. Well, this is the piece that I did, and when it was wet, the color was vibrant. It was beautiful. I mean, the violet and the eggplant was really, really true. But after it dried, of course, everything went dull on me. So now we're gonna hopefully we'll bring the resin back. So right now we're gonna do a reverse. I'm gonna show you how how we do the coating, and then I'm gonna show you how to mix the resin, if that makes any sense. So this is pre-mixed. The consistency of this is like, I don't know, it's like gel or some sort. The instruction, I believe the instruction said to mix it for 3 minutes or until it's clear and not cloudy. So you would go ahead and mix the 1-to-1 ratio into the container and mix until it's clear. You'll get the bubbles are normal, but when you first initially mix it, it gets a little cloudy, I want to say, and as the more you mix it, the more clear it becomes. So anyways, here's that. What I'm going to do is go ahead and just pour it right in the middle there. With a square piece, I just start in the middle. Okay, and that's probably pretty good to start with. I wouldn't go too much because you can end up wasting a bunch. Popsicle sticks is a good spreading tool to use, especially for small pieces like this. It's kind of like frosting a cake. I will push it to the side there, and I stop, and I bring it back over here. I'm not scraping the canvas. I'm just probably halfway. Basically, I'm halfway between the canvas and the resin, if that makes any sense. Gonna move that up, and your goal is just to cover as much as possible evenly. Resin is self-leveling, at least the brand that I buy. And so you don't really have to worry about spreading it extremely thoroughly. So as you can tell, some of these are kind of running off the side. And once they run off the side, what you want to do is go ahead and even them out. The sides, I'm not so concerned about getting a perfect coating, like it's a really thick coating. As long as it is covered, it's perfectly fine with me. What I am concerned about is the top. I like to do it a little faster. And also, I think resin, the curing time is what, 25 minutes to 30 minutes or something. And it depends on the weather. Right now, it's pretty chilly. It's getting colder in the garage. And so, and plus I've been talking quite a bit and it's getting a little stickier. It's moving a little slower. So I gotta go and move faster. So working with resin, I've worked with resin on a big piece, about like 30 by 55. And, you know, that was my first big one. I was painting, you know, I basically tinted my resin and basically painted with it. And it is quite a stressful thing. I would say maybe I just need to work on with the medium a little bit more. But, for those of you just going into resining and you want to work with this medium, it is just gonna have a heads up. It is quite time sensitive, and so you must work somewhat quick. I mean, there's other methods to warm up your wet resin and get a little bit more working time, but it is probably not. I mean, if you're going from basically fluid painting and then going into resin, it's a little bit different. And there's no walk in the park. At least for me, and my learning curve was a little bit, the learning curve for me was a little bit short. Anyways, I'm just covering the sides right now. And for small pieces, you can pretty much pick this thing up and go all the way with it like that. Okay. Some people like to tape the bottom of the canvas here to prevent any pyramids from forming. And I think that's a brilliant idea, but I'm always terrified. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit paranoid that it might, as I'm taking off the tape, that it will rip some of my side paints off, and which will create it like a bald spot or something. And I'm always so worried that that would happen. So I haven't tried that method just yet. Or just taping my painting in general is scary. I don't know if I'm gonna rip it off or take some off. So I just kind of let the small pyramids form. To me, I feel like it doesn't bother me much because it is, you know, it tells the process of the work. And I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of telling. I left it pretty thick on the top, okay? Simply because I really like that glassy look. I didn't want it to look like it was just coated. I want it to look like, you know, there's a piece of glass on top. So I'm gonna stop right there. Now we're gonna start torching. So here's my torch. I basically just use the propane portable torch. Be very careful while you're working with a torch and resin. It will gunk up, and once you get a gunky igniter, it's pretty much game over for that torch. I mean, well, the starter at least. This is what I'm talking about. Don't get it gunked up here, because I've done it before and it's no good. So turn that thing on, fire it up, and quick passes. As you're making a quick pass, you'll see bubbles surfacing. And the whole point of this right now, basically, for coating, you're just getting rid of the bubbles, air bubbles on top. Doesn't do anything else. It doesn't, you know, do any like burning effect or anything like that. It just brings up the air bubbles. And basically, that's how you resin the piece. And, you know, right now, I would not let it sit on the cup like this to dry overnight because it will stick and you're going to end up with a big old ring underneath your painting. And I say this from experience. I have early on pieces that I worked on have big old rings underneath, and it looks pretty amateur. Well, it was amateur. What I would do is I'll let it sit for about 20 minutes before it fully cures. The resin will set better and it'll be harden a little bit, so when I pick it up and do a last scrape off, then the resin won't form underneath there. Okay?
Oh, I'm gonna order pizza.